I tried improving my life and nothing stuck. Now, I used to try and go gym. I'd try and fix up my diet, build some discipline, build some habits, some routines, and nothing stuck. And that was because I was basically trying to build a house or a bridge, but I had no foundation. And one thing that I did is I worked out that the foundation is your mental health. And once I started to realize that, and I started to put my mental health first, everything else was easier to build. So the mental health is basically the foundation to make self-improvement easy and to build in other aspects of your life. Because if you're trying to build in other aspects of your life and you feel like shit within yourself, it's so much harder. Now, the mistake I made was I thought that mental health was something that you could just push through. That if I was sitting there like getting stronger, eating better, that the mental health would just magically get better. And it helped. I'm not saying it didn't. Of course it helped. But there was other aspects that I hadn't worked on within the mental health part that had nothing to do with going to the gym or eating well. Because there's so many people that have got like great physiques that eat well, but they still feel like shit within themselves. So what I found out mental health actually was affecting me was my motivation was like low. My recovery was shit because I couldn't sleep because I'm always anxious. And then when you're anxious and you have a shit sleep, you wake up like feeling shit. So my energy was low. My discipline and like everything just was not good. So I was just trying to build myself up on like a rocky foundation. And what I ended up doing is I watched like a few YouTubers that helped, and you kind of work on your mental health. And I would, like, the main things I would do is try and sleep at the same time every day, regardless of if I went to bed at 2, 3 in the morning, I'd still wake up at 6 or 7. I would put way less pressure on myself because everyone's on a different journey in life, right? Now you got people that are absolutely killing it at like 19, 20, and you got people that are not, like, they're just not killing it at that age, and then they end up having theirs at like 30. So, everyone's different. Everyone's on a different journey. Every life's different. Every childhood's been different. So how can you expect to be at the same place as other people, right, if you've had a completely different childhood? And once I started doing stuff like putting less pressure on myself and like thinking better about yourself, feeling better about myself, and then I found that I would prioritize my sleep. I would do stuff that was like less stimulating. So rather than like playing video games to ridiculous hours, even changing it to, for example, let's say I go to bed at 10, rather than play a stimulating game up until 10, even if I play it till 8, watch a program and then read a book, or even just watching a program till 10 is far less stimulation than me sitting there like up trying to play COD or whatever it is. And talking through things with other people. Like I had a pal that was around my age. I think he's a year older. And when you start speaking to him, you realise that you're not the only one with problems that's going through shit. Like, there's so many other people that are. So ever since then, now we know that if I have a problem, I'll just go talk to him. And if he's got a problem, he'll just come talk to me. Like, life's easier. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have that stress of bottling it up. You can always talk to someone, and it's like no one's going to think any less of you. You're not weak if you speak. Nothing like that. You're just getting it off your chest. And it's good to talk to other people because they'll have a different perspective. Like, you might have built it up in your head one way, and this person who's had a completely different upbringing and a completely different life looks at it from another way, and then they tell you that, and you're like, oh, like, okay, makes more sense. And another thing I started doing was realizing that some days are going to be slow. Like, I could wake up, like today, for example, I woke up and I smashed out so much stuff. Like, I hit the gym, I checked off loads of stuff on my list, I went to the shops I had to do, I did everything, right? Bought everything I had to get, like, just everything on my list got done by like 2 o'clock. So days like today are good, but then I know the last few days where I've not been feeling well, they've been slow days. So you just got to take the good and the bad. That's just how it is. Like, in life, I found that there is going to be good days that I do a lot of what I want to do, There's going to be days where I don't get what I want done, but that's fine. Like, that is just life. And the sooner you start doing that and forgiving yourself about not getting everything done, the better you'll feel. And then the outcome of all this was that self-improvement becomes so much easier because I wasn't fighting with myself. And you can start improving other aspects of your life because you feel happy within yourself. Now, my habits stuck, like better habits, like the meditation and journaling I do in the morning, better food choices. I'm way more consistent in the gym. Like I said, I could go like 3 days in a row before, and then I wouldn't go for like a week. Or I used to be like a weekend warrior. That's what I like joke about with my pal, because sometimes we've done like months where we're literally just going like once or twice a week, and it's on a weekend. It's like, because you can't be bothered during the week and stuff. But ever since I started improving my mental health, that's what has like changed so much. I feel so much better. Like I said, the decisions I make are not just like decisions that affect me now. It's decisions that are going to affect me in the future, and then like I'm making them in a positive light, rather than living for now. I'm making decisions that are going to benefit me in 10 years, 15 years time. Now, to wrap up, basically the way I improved my mental health was less stimulation. So I'd make sure I'm getting off earlier in the night, so doing whatever I'm doing, watching telly, like just winding down. I would do some meditation in the morning and some journaling. And because of me getting off earlier from like Xbox or watching telly, my sleep improved, which overall improved a lot more stuff. Putting less pressure on yourself, realizing everyone's on a different journey, on a different timeline, and like talking to yourself better, like in your head, thinking better about yourself. Like, you don't have to sit there and put other people down in the same like sentence, but do you know what I mean? Like realizing that, yeah, like I can do this, and I am that person, and you know what I mean? And finally was having someone to talk to that's on a similar path or with similar hobbies and interests. So that helped a lot as well. So if you're trying to improve your life and you keep burning out, maybe it's not consistency you need. Maybe it's a bit of compassion for yourself. And I'm just someone I'm not like no expert in anything. I'm just someone that's trying to rebuild their life after their ACL, and I'm trying to do it properly and the best that I can, but it's not going to be perfect, and I'm going to document everything along the way. So if you enjoyed this video or anything helped you, then maybe consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.